New week means new planner spread, so here's everything I do to set up my week. I'm using a beautiful green Tombow Dual brush pen this week, as well as my favorite Zebra Sarasa pen. I start off by dividing the weekly page into 3 vertical sections. This is always my first step because there are tiny little notches to help me draw straight lines, and if I'm using a dark marker, that would cover them up, so I do this in order to avoid that issue. Next, I'm going in with my marker to add a splash of color to the horizontal lines before moving on to the leftmost column. This is where I include my time-bound events and tasks like my work schedule, appointments, or to-dos that need to be done on a specific day. The rightmost column is for notes on things that happened throughout the day, and the center column varies. In this week's case, it's tracking health-related symptoms. Moving on to the right page, I'm making the absolute simplest habit tracker possible. This is for what I would call my binary habits. Did I do them or did I not? This goes for supplements and medications just to make sure I'm staying on top of everything, but also for habits I'm trying to develop, like reading every day to avoid falling in a slump, and just general tracking, like if I worked on a course I'm taking. Up next comes the experimental part. Historically, I suck at tracking things, and I've accepted that, but right now I need to track a ton of different health markers, so I've been trying to come up with ways to do this that are easy to keep up with and easy to interpret visually. For this week, I'm doing a bar graph for hours of sleep and connected scatter plots to track my energy levels and my moods. Between drawing graphs, I'm using a plain sheet of paper to absorb the extra ink that hasn't quite soaked in yet, just to avoid smudging it. Back to the graphs, I do love the idea because it makes my little science brain happy, but I am looking for a way to combine all of this data into one place. I did find something that looks pretty perfect, but I was already halfway through this page, so that's a next week thing now. Also, if you have suggestions, please drop them below. There's a fair amount of space to play with, and I will be trying out different layouts over the next few weeks. After adding my reminders section, I have to admit I was pretty stumped with the rest of the page because it's a bit of an awkward space. I definitely need a running to-do list for the week as well as a section looking ahead to next week, so I made sure to add those and used the rest of the space to add a gratitude tracker because I'm trying to practice it more consistently. Overall, I actually really like how this turned out, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like all filled out at the end of the week. Here's the final result. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.